I'm going to hand it over to Leona. So thank you, Leona, for speaking on depression and mental health and your story.
Thank you, Angela, and everyone. Welcome for inviting me this evening. I'm honored and blessed to be given the opportunity to not be suffering in silence and to tell my journey and the story behind my first children's book, Angie Loves Bugs. All portions are copyrighted, and it'll be in my future book, A Hummingbird with Angel Wings. So I started off in this world being born 3 months early, 2 pounds, 13 ounces. So I am a survivor. Most parents are happy to bring a child into this world. I'm going to try not to get emotional and breathe, Nadine. Well, my mom up and left. Now, I don't know the exact time, and I don't really care the exact time. It has affected me my whole life. What the story I'm telling is from my perspective, and not from my brothers and sisters or anybody. It's my perspective and how I saw the world, how I viewed the world, life, my depression, and everything from childhood into my adulthood. As a child, no child should have to have endured what I did in my life. So it's my own personal story from sadness to triumph. So please join me in hearing the whole story and the story behind Angie Loves Bugs. And I'm really new at this and I suck at technology. So let's get this going here. So first of all, the first topic I would like to talk about is my childhood. And second being my depression. And then third, my thoughts on depression. And then finally, which I'm really excited to talk about, is Angie Loves Bugs, my first children's book. And I think I probably did topic 1 already, but however, I will go back to that. As I reflect back into my childhood, I see this cute little girl, eyes that are sparkling and so inquisitive and asking questions and just wanting to smile, but my outer sense wouldn't be what I want to explain or people to see. My smile just wasn't there. All I could see was sadness. I wait for the next lesson to be learned or the next experience to be experienced. Always wanting to smile, but couldn't, because the sadness is just too traumatic from childhood. But when I've crossed paths with somebody and I do have this nice smile that lights up the room, nobody will ever forget my smile. They may have met me once and years ago, or even yesterday. They see this bubbly little girl that wants to come out. My childhood memories are not happy at all. I stare into your eyes. I can see your lips moving. You're talking, but I'm far away in the distance. I stare at your soul and I'm numb, and all I can think about is surviving. So much pain, and it's my safety mechanism that's got me through. One in which I perfected to this day. We're survive. I'm a survivor and people are survivors, and we can't put these life skills and on a resume, but we're overqualified. There's no diploma that comes along with it. We're just overqualified with what we have. We can't put that on our resume that we've experienced all these life changing, altering skills, that we're perfect for whatever qualification life kind of hands us. The most important qualification of all is that we have survived. And, you know, even going back to the fact of my mother, I just don't understand, like, it's taken me and I still haven't dealt with it. So I think that's probably the major hurdle I've had besides everything else. But from being whatever age, being in an incubator for 3 months, and however the story goes, because, you know, deep, dark family secrets, nobody's gonna say anything. So that has held a lot of weight on my soul. I'm just going to jump to my depression, and I can go back. I'm sorry. I just have never publicly spoken about the trauma, and it's going to be in a good book. It won't be a child's book, that's for sure. But so going through my depression, all I had to hold on to was my faith, and nobody could take it away from me. It was something I had. And I always question, what is my purpose? What is all this depression? What's happening? Because I knew I was a good soul, but I got stuck with this horrible disease and mental illness. Hard to say those words. That's in my next part of my speech, but very difficult to say. My depression, sometimes days, sometimes for weeks on end. It just lingers, and it's part of my darkest aura that clouds me. It's not who I am. I mean, I may look mad, but I'm actually smiling, but I just can't smile. I just don't know why. And then there's times where I just smile and can't stop smiling. There's always a look of sadness when I don't mean to be sad or whatever. It's just, I haven't kind of caught up with myself. The darkness, abandonment. My childhood was and horrific. And like I said earlier, is no child should have to endure what I did. I don't want this to be a part of my mental makeup. It's not congruent on who I am, who I want to be. It just is. And I feel like I'm in a cage trying to get out, screaming, but nobody hears me. Helpless and trapped. I want to fight to get out, but I don't know what it would be like to be freed. To be that little girl who wants to smile. Life situations would knock me off course. Now I can look at them as stepping stones, and only recently stepping stones, that it's my journey, and it's a trail on my journey that was designed especially for me. And it's my own personal journey. Excuse me. I really have to get a Kleenex. I'm sorry. I didn't bring one. Okay, so going back on my thoughts of depression and mental health. The struggles are real. It's a difficult subject to discuss, so misunderstood. But think about it from a person who doesn't understand it themselves. So it makes it equally hard to explain to people what you're going through, because I don't understand it. I see this little girl who's happy and excited and, wants to be full of life, yet sad, like so sad. And to even say the words depression and mental health is really difficult. Like, I guess, Angela, by asking me to talk about it, I've thought for years, I need to talk about this and not be suffering in silence. So I guess reality hit more. I could say, oh, I'm depressed, or, but to really hear it and feel it in my heart. Yes, I do suffer from depression and mental illness. And I don't know, those words, because they have so much stigmatism to them. It's hard for me to even say it. So I can imagine people who don't, or who are suffering in silence. There is help out there. And I didn't want to get into a whole bunch of stuff, but I thought about taking my life, and I wish people to get help. And this was only the 3 times I've tried it, and the last time I talked and I said I need help. And I did find a really good resource that in 57 years I found, Together Wellness Canada, and they saved my life. And so it's been a quite the road and quite the journey. Depression and mental health, the topic of it needs to be more brought out in the open. Professional athletes are now coming out into the public, speaking up that they have mental health issues, and good on them, because slowly the awareness needs to be brought out for people like myself to admit I have it, or it just needs to be brought out more in the open and not kept silent for all these years or whatever. There's help. You just have to keep going till you hear that you make sure the listening person is listening to what you say. And if that person's not doing it, keep going. Because that's one thing I'm very proud of myself is, well, I don't take no for an answer, for one. And I just keep going until I feel heard. Depression doesn't need to be suffered in silence. Unfortunately, like I said, it still is. The stigmatism around those 2 words, depression and mental health. Perhaps those 2 words need to be changed. Like, I don't know, maybe just different words, so it doesn't have this bad, horrible connotation to it. So more people might be more willing to talk about it and seek the help. I suffered in silence for more years than I even want to imagine or admit or whichever. It needs to be described differently so that the stigmatism can change. Like I said, Together Wellness Canada is a great resource. Like I said, I can't say enough for them saving my life and getting me the help that I needed. So I'm going to go now, just a minute, to the story behind Angie Loves Bugs. because my mascara is running and my nose is running. So when I started writing Angie Loves Bugs, it's a story about me, a little girl. I took my horrific pictures from my childhood and I made them into a story. And, you know, like looking at my school picture, how my hair was all messy, and it kind of still is today because I like it as my character theme of That's Leona. I guess on picture day, I fell on the way to school, and on my knees, I ripped my little tights with my silver buckled shoes. And of course, they sat me in the front row for picture day. Yay. So anyways, I did take, that's where the little girl in the story has messy hair and a ripped knee, because that was consistent. So I did transform my horrific childhood into a happy story. It was only after 56 years, looking like I was at my old place and I knew where the pictures were, and I was sitting there looking at them, and I thanked all my abusers all through my whole life, to thank them for my being in my head all these years, because it gave me the greatest gift of all, my imagination. So it definitely healed. It healed a lot. Also, the story is built around a little girl asking her mom tons of questions. Mom, where's my backpack? Mom, all this. As I said in the beginning, I met my mom once in my late 30s. Didn't like her. Found out where I'm short and no boobs and glasses, and I didn't like her. But anyways, that's beside the point. So if someone had asked me years ago, would you ever be able to, would you think it's possible to write a children's book or any book? No, there was too many barriers in the way. 17 years ago, or probably more, I suffered a stroke. So I had to learn to walk and talk and regain my brain function. Took a long time. So there were a lot of barriers, and after the stroke, I can suffer from conversion disorder, and I can feel my face when I get upset. My face starts going numb, and that was the side where I was paralyzed on. So when you have conversion disorder, it wasn't something I wanted or asked for or anything. It was just a side effect from the stroke. People look at me and say, oh, you looked really good, and, can't really tell. But I can tell, because your central nervous system, what happens with it is it shuts down. When the stress gets to be too much, like my hands going numb, and I'm like, okay, calm myself down. It's okay. I needed to tell my story, and I'm very grateful that everyone's here to share in my story. And also, I guess, I was always told, you'll never make it in this world. You'll never amount to anything. You're a loser. And I'm not going to go into who said what and blah, blah, blah. But recently, excuse me, I met a relative of my mother's side. And apparently, she said, when I met her for the first time, she said, oh, we we didn't know a lot about you, just that you were the youngest child in the family. And my father had told the family that, oh, she's just deaf and slow. And, I was appalled by that, but I thought, okay, deaf. Yeah, okay. Slow, maybe. For the simple reason now, as is just clicking into my head, I was probably deaf because everybody yelled all the time and probably didn't want to hear it. And slow, probably because if I did talk, I'd probably get reprimanded by being abused. So I'm thinking, yeah, okay, you can say I'm slow or different or deaf or whatever, but I like to think of myself as different. And I have a funny story because I needed pictures of bugs. So all around town, wherever I saw a bug, I'm on the ground taking pictures of bugs. So if you saw me, yeah, I probably was a little different, but I needed pictures for my bug book, right? So I like to think of myself as unique and determined. And that's how I want to think of my life. And I am just, when I had nothing, I held on to my faith. And, a good friend of mine said, you're touched by miracles. And I said, yes, I truly, truly am touched by miracles. So I guess I'm supposed to wind this up, but so in summary, I'd like to say my creativity of writing children's books allowed me to go back and relive my childhood with excitement and wonder through the eyes of a child. I thank you. I finally, after all these years, I shared with all of you my depression and my mental health now. It's out in the open and in public. I no longer suffer in silence. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Leona. You're definitely touched by a miracle, and you are a miracle yourself.
Thank you,
So
Angela.
living, you're definitely a living miracle.
Thank you.
This is like a open conversation that we can all share a little bit of our thoughts and just like what you want to share that after you hear this touching story Leona shared from her real life experience. And Nadine said, very proud of you, my friend. Thank you, Nadine.
Well, Christine, I met Leona through work at the airport. And yeah, it was just vibrant, excitable, loving the new job, just a great person to have around. And to, later on find out that, her internal struggles were as severe as they were, and just the issues she had with her illnesses. And I couldn't be more proud of her. She is just really come a long, long way, and just a survivor, that's for sure. So very, very proud of you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Christine. That's so nice. Yeah, definitely. Leona has come a long way, and she's just survived through all those
Exactly.
just unspeakable challenges. Nadine, you like to share anything?
Yeah, teary eyes for sure. I've known Leona probably maybe just 4 years, Leona, something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And got to experience a lot of this journey with her. And there's been some up and downs, but it's mostly all been up. She's just got such determination, such strength. I've never known anyone quite so strong. And I'm just grateful she's in my life and she's thriving the way she is now. So yeah, very blessed to be her friend.
Thank you, Nadine.
I'm very proud.
Yeah, very proud of you, Leona. Like when we hear real story, like someone who went through so much, it helps us to reflect on our own life, because we all connected. We're all connected in a certain way. Like you might not have a mom who abandoned you, or you might not have any parent who abandoned you from childhood, but you might have other kind of abandonment that you went through in your life. Like none of the relationships you experience can be perfect. So we all go through similar situations in somehow, some way, and we gather strength from uh, just hearing what other people went through and how they overcame their struggles. So Alice said, thank you, Leona, for sharing your feelings with us. It might have taken you a lot of courage opening up. That was a sign of strength. Yeah, thank you, Alice. It's nothing but strength. And because that strength Leona has inside, and she is not afraid of opening up. So yeah, so just bravo to you, Leona.
Thank you. It was difficult, but yet, you know, emotional, but I know the funny thing was I went to church and I said, you know, I want to tell my story. Be careful what you ask for. And then there it was. You presented me, Angela, with an opportunity that I am so blessed that you invited me here to tell my story. And this is only the beginning. Like, this is only the beginning. If I can help anybody, I mean, I don't have qualifications that way, but I've been through so much and I am a survivor. And, you know, there's just so many good things that are coming together for me. And I'm grateful for it, because I have worked very, very hard, and this is only the beginning. And I'm excited to know. I don't know what's going to happen next or whatever, but I'm open to getting things done. I feel like I didn't waste 57 years, but I'm glad I'm older and being able to express my childhood through books. And I have many books that and projects that I'm working on. So I'm excited, and I thank you for that opportunity of letting me share.
Thank you, Leona. So definitely Healing Connection. This is our mission to support, educate, and advocate. I'll just briefly share a bit of the website, like lots of information that you can find to support you toward better mental health. So we want to be there as your supporting light for better mental health. So we even have a scholarship program in place. So feel free to check out our website, which is healingconnectionhc.com.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Have a great evening.
Thank you.
Bye,
Thank you, everyone.
Bye, honey.
Thank you.